basically, kind of bring you up to date. From the last video that we produced, we found out the timing was correct with the car and actually with the motor. So basically the motor in the MSD box were actually agreeing on the timing that we were putting in it. So we verified that everything looked good on that part. So we suspected it was a converter issue. And I called the manufacturer up, and sure enough, they confirmed that they set the converter up to be a soft hit converter. What that means is basically it doesn't hit the tires really hard. This is a normally aspirated motor. We want the hit really, really hard. So if you had nitrous or turbo, something like that, you want a little bit softer hit, but with these NA motors, I want them hit pretty hard. So what they're going to head and do, they're going to actually ship us a brand new one out. They're going to set up a little bit harder hit. They're actually going to increase the stall just a little bit higher than what this one was set up before. This is about 5,500. We're trying to get close up around 6,000 with it. So, but they're going to send us a brand new one, and when we get that one in, we're going to turn around, box this one up, send it back to them. So then this way we're not losing time waiting on transport and shipping and stuff like that. So, but once we get the new one in, we're going to go ahead and test the new one and see how that hits. But for now, what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to set up the, get the old converter, put it in this one. Then we're going to do some testing Friday night. I want to do some more timing testing on this, how much time the car needs, or how not it needs. I think we're pretty close on the jetting on it. We're just going to play around with the timing on it. Then that was going to be Friday night. Then Sunday, we have a bracket race up in Mocan. I'm going to go to that and see how we do up there. I'll probably have some video coverage from the testing as well as the bracket race on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be pretty good coverage, I hope. Okay. What we're going to go ahead and do, we will need to go ahead and just remove the transmission off the motor. Shouldn't be that difficult. All we have to do is just remove some of these bolts. For people that don't know about this on the LS motors, this one bolt here is actually missing on purpose. So it's nothing I missed or something like that. You can't even put a bolt in here want to. This is actually blocked off. I mean, you can see where a bolt probably could have been tapped into, but there's no way you can tap it. You might hit an oil passage if I'm not mistaken. But the top bolt is actually used. So, but everything else, all the other bolts are used. This thing bolts up no problem really. So it was pretty easy. So that's what we're going to get ready to do next. Remove that sucker. Now we can remove all the other stuff. This guy here. Yeah. Okay. Ouch, that hurt. God, we almost have to get the air conditioner turned on. Pop those off for me. Now we just need to go ahead and separate it. Yeah, this is the cool part here on this jig. We can actually separate the motor and transmission. The motor stay right where it's at. Okay. Ouch. It's not hot.
No, it's sharp. These lines.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Great. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. This is what we're going to have to pull out. And we'll replace it with another converter. You can tell this converter here is actually set up for an LS motor. There's a snout that's on here that actually will go in the back of the LS crank. Doesn't require an adapter. The converter I'm getting ready to put in requires an adapter that adapts to the back of the LS to the snout of the converter, and I'll show that when we get the other converter put in the transmission here. Okay, what we're going to go ahead and do, just go ahead and yank that converter up, suck some paper towels down, catch some of the fluid as I pull it out, because it might leak some, so if it does, we'll just clean it up. So here we go. Just pull real quick, won't leak as much, hopefully. Voila. None. Okay. Now all we have to do is get the other converter. Oh. Yep. Just need to shove it in the hole. I'm trying to find the tabs. Straight up and down. Okay. Key to this is trying to find those ears. Come on. Let's try. Oh, there we go. Bingo. Leaked a little fluid while we're turning around. Okay. Then here we show that. Here. There we go. This little thing here needs to go, its actual will go on the end of this snout here. Then what I'll do, I'll show you. I'll edit that part out. Anyway, this is the snout that, yeah, it's going to go to the end of this, the converter here, and it'll actually go into here. Kind of lines everything up properly, keeps things centered. So that's the purpose of this little thing. There we go. Okay, now we're ready to, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining in the background. We might have to shut the door so we won't get too much wet. We're pretty close to the garage door right now, but it's got good natural light in here. Okay, all we have to do is just line it up on the downward filter. Here's lined up. Yep. Just snow. If the angle's not right. Yeah, we need to go up higher with it, I think.
I'd take the snow over it.
Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Okay. There we go. Perfect.
Hold from the corner.
Okay. Now, oops. You know which one's for where? Guess the long one goes,
Two ones here on the bottom, right?
and all the other ones are all the same size. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's installed. What you do is just torque it up. Just torque it up good and snug. I think they say, what, 30 pounds or so. Nothing too tight, but enough that you don't want them come backing out. So, other than that, we're getting close to get it back in the car. Well, guys, I actually had to shut the door because look at all the freaking rain it's doing. It's just pouring out here. So, door shut, we got some lights, so you still able to see what we're doing. So, okay, what we're going to get ready to do next, we're going to go ahead and take this motor and we're going to shove it in this hole. as you can tell, we got a 2-post lift here, so it's going to make this thing a lot easier to do. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is going to go ahead and set up a time lapse. So you're actually going to have it. We're actually going to have a time lapse of us installing this. So should be fun to watch. Okay, as you see, it's back on the ground. Has all its tires on the ground. What we're going to get ready to do next is actually, this is funny, actually going to ready to put water in this thing. Ellis Motors, this is how we found out to go ahead and prime them up. Basically, we took a piece of radiator hose, stuck a funnel on it. We're ready to get to add some fluid to it. Then we'll turn the pump on here and watch water start to flow through the radiator. So let's go ahead and get some water in this sucker. Got some right here. It's going to take just a little over 2 gallons. Okay, I went ahead and cut that off and made it a lot easier so it doesn't have that angle anymore. Now we just feed the water right from the top of it. So let me go ahead and get the power turned on so I can go ahead and get the pump turning. Whoop. Sure. Go ahead. That should make it a little bit easier. You have a light. Go grab a flashlight real quick. There we go. Yeah, I know, that's okay.